Hey,
Crypto After Dark.
what's going on, everybody?
How's everybody doing? Crypto After Dark. Constant Collab. How you been, Braulio?
Good, man. Good. How you doing?
Good to see you, man.
Good to see.
You think we have both mics working here?
We're about to find out. Um, this one's definitely working.
Yeah, I'm not seeing Yeti 2 pop up though. Oh, there we go. Okay. All right. It looks like they're coming in. Just trying to do a mic check here.
Yeah.
First of all, man, it's good to see you.
Good to see you, brother. How
How's
you doing?
everything been?
Good. Good. Yeah.
Yeah. So the dip last Saturday. How'd that go for you?
That did, man.
Everybody's panicking, right? Fear greed.
It was.
Greed went back to 14.
Yeah, it was.
And a lot of things happened.
It was definitely rough. I mean, as you guys can see, fear and greed the last couple weeks, man. They've been rough.
Yeah.
From everything from the uncertainty of the FOMC meeting and miners selling their crypto. It's been a rough couple weeks overall.
There's been a lot of fundamental pressure from governments, from regulatory bodies, everyone from Elizabeth Warren to local and state politicians in the United States and across the globe are like, hey, like, we don't know anything about it. And we've had some celebrities even outcasting celebrity involvement from a sponsorship perspective. And then on the contrary, during this dip, we had Kevin Durant signed with Coinbase. We had the Staples Center got taken down and turned into Crypto.com Arena. And so during all of this turmoil and during all of these bad things that happen, we have these pretty severe silver linings, right? And I think people forget about those. We talked about also that trend line from the March 20 anchor, which we'll pull up some charts here in a minute.
Yep.
But when you think about those trend lines and where they were sitting and all that fear, like obviously everybody was afraid.
And that's one thing that definitely, again, the uncertainty, not knowing what was going to happen, and I mean Bitcoin, the number one crypto, has been definitely testing the support the past couple weeks and the past couple days, to be honest. And was it yesterday? Yes, yesterday when the FOMC met, there was, especially in the morning. The morning started out very red. We were concerned. Over the weekend, we were concerned. We didn't know what was going to happen. And after the meeting that the Fed chair, Jerome Powell, he came out a little more dovish than we expected. Definitely send the crypto market and the stock market to, into a more green day, because the NASDAQ, the tech-heavy NASDAQ, was red. The past couple of days in the beginning of the week.
Had a lot of selling pressure from that Tesla bull run, and Nvidia has been obviously on, companies like that have been
right
holding up those indices across the board, right? I think there's only 10 or 20 blue chip companies really holding up 3 of the major global indexes, and so that's presenting its fair share of challenges. And one of the things we were going to talk about later in the show, and we can talk about it briefly here, is like obviously the Fed's decisions are really putting a move on, or are putting a lot of pressure on what that looks like going forward. And briefly talking on that, their news was positive, and they said they wouldn't perform any of the 3 scheduled rate hikes until next year.
Right.
Being said, what happens when they perform those? It doesn't seem like. And then the last thing I'll say, I don't mean to cut you off, is like when they say things, they get priced in. And so what's going to happen? When is the bear market, when will the bear markets really happen?
And honestly, that was one of the questions that was brought up by one of the economists from CNBC, Steve Leisman. He asked, he specifically said, if you start tapering in March, or start hiking your rates in March, that's not going to be the market won't see that until probably next year. Especially when it comes to inflation. The inflation that we're seeing now is because of things that happened a year ago.
Yeah, and to be honest, the tapering sentiment's also hard to trust. Because the velocity of their easing over the summer and the past couple of years, like I remember watching the daily what do they call those? The daily, the transactions from the Fed.
Right.
Daily. I forget what it's called. I don't know why it's slipping my mind.
Oh, the repo.
The repo. Yeah, they call it repo buying. It used to be called
buying.
QE, and then it became repo buying.
The overnight repos.
They got overnight repos. I was like, damn, sounds like somebody's gonna come take my car out of my driveway.
Yeah, exactly.
And that hit the 1 trillion or 1 billion daily mark. Sometime this past summer.
Well, no, it was last. I want to say winter 2020.
Yeah, maybe so.
There was a spike in the repo, and that's when the Fed started their QE.
Yeah.
But no, sentiment definitely has been tough in the crypto market the past few days, and we're just hoping that, again, with the Fed, with the FOMC meeting, and the fact that they're going to be a little more dovish, we're hoping to see a fifth wave when it comes to cryptos. You know, the last hurrah,
right,
before we go into the bear market,
right.
Again, but with that being said, at this point, we don't know if we're going to go into a prolonged bear market, or
I think
it's going to be a short thing.
Obviously they're not going to repeat 4-year cycles, because if they repeat 4-year cycles, people will know what to do, and people will make money. So we can just shoot that out the window real quick.
Right.
So here I've pulled up for those watching on YouTube, I've pulled up the Amazon chart from the .com boom. And so this data is showing from, it looks like late or mid 97 .com boom runs to the 99s. Like, what a time to be alive, right? Everybody's just like making a lot of money, right? Life's good. Amazon hits up here upwards of 90, close to $100 a share. If I was zoomed in, it would probably say 100, 109, 110. Drops all the way down to
95%.
Yeah, about 574. So let's talk about for a second fear and greed indexes and what that looks like, right? Because obviously, we don't have to sit here and make comparisons. Like, that's a big drop. That's an 80 to 90% drop.
Absolutely.
I think the people at the bottom were probably saying, like, Amazon's a scam. Amazon's a bookstore. Amazon's a piece of shit. Like, blah, blah. I bought Amazon at the top because somebody told me to buy it. No different than, like, my mom, honestly, being like, yeah, my neighbor told me to buy Enron and the scars that she wears from that. It's like, okay, we're in that right now. Because if you get on the internet, people will be like, crypto's a scam. Sell all this shit. XRP's a security. Blah, blah, blah. And what's up, Ben? And what's up, Sheila Hatz? Thanks for joining.
And that's the problem. And no, but I agree with you 100%. People are terrified of new things, and that's life, period. And when the internet came out, the .com boom, there were a lot of websites that didn't have utilities. They didn't have anything backing them. It wasn't a business. Yeah. Pets.com, one of them. Yeah. But then you also had companies like Yahoo, Amazon, that they had a business model, and they had something that they were pursuing. Right. And a lot of people bring up, Warren Buffett, he hates crypto, or Charlie Munger, they hate crypto. They don't understand the technology.
Right.
At the end of the day, Warren Buffett did not buy into Amazon when it first came out.
Yep.
He didn't buy into Google when it first came out. He just doesn't understand the technology, and that's perfectly fine.
Right.
The guy has made billions of dollars sticking to what he knows.
Right.
The Geicos, the Coca-Colas,
right.
The companies that he understands in their framework, and that's perfectly fine. I'm not upset about that. But the people that say, crypto doesn't have anything backing them, there's no utility, this is, I'm like, you obviously don't understand the technology. You have not read any white papers.
You didn't see the FEMA article with Deloitte and Avalanche. You didn't see any you haven't seen anything.
No.
And I was at a wedding rehearsal dinner tonight before I came back here to your spot, and one of the I'm not going to call it the people in attendance, but one of the parents of the people in attendance is like, have you talked to my son? I'm worried about like how much he's invested in crypto. And I just laughed because I was like, damn, they do not
I'm looking to buy more.
They don't want to know.
Right.
This particular person, though, told me a story a month ago at a bachelor party. And he said, hey, my Just asked me what I want for my birthday, and I was just like, just give me some money so I can buy crypto. And they were like, no way, that's like, you'll like. So these are the same parents, and and there was an aunt there, and all three of them were sitting across from me and interested in what I had to say, because they were like, what have you been doing? It's like, well, I'm on this, I do a YouTube channel now. I'm doing all these different things to just share what I know about real partnerships. Like, I don't like talking about shit coins that much or things like that, but so they're like, well, tell me about something. So I was like, well, I think the best story I could tell you right now is the FEMA story about Avalanche and Deloitte, because just 20 minutes ago, his dad was telling me about when he was in the Army, about the process they went through in 2000. The mid and late 2000s were like, one day we're not going to have paper. We have to start scanning our documents now. And guess what they called that project? Project Metadata.
Yeah.
And he works for the Coast Guard up in back in our hometown. So it's like, hey, or whatever we have over there, Air National Guard.
Air National
so
Guard,
it's like, hey, you present these things to them, and they're like, wow, okay, that makes a lot more sense than Bitcoin. It's like, yeah, that makes sense. There's 15,000 coins out there right now. It's a flooded ass market.
Exactly, and that's the thing. A lot of people, they just don't understand the premise. They hear Bitcoin, they're like, oh, that's it. That's the end all be all of crypto. They don't understand that there's, you have blockchains like Solana, Avalanche, freaking Ethereum. They are literally creating the new internet.
Yep.
They are the new internet. And one thing that I try to the first thing that I ask people when they ask me about crypto, I ask them, I'm like, what do you think the internet is worth today? The platform that we use to transact trillions of dollars every day, that platform that you use to, buy through Amazon, what do you think the internet, the framework is worth? They're not able to put a number on it. And I'm like, guess what blockchain is doing today? Blockchain is putting a number on the internet. It's creating a value of what the internet is. And that's what it is. Every time on Monday.
That is such a good point.
Yeah, on Monday or Tuesday, when all the CEOs were in Congress, in the House, they pretty much said Brian Brooks. He used to run the OCC, the Office of the Controller of the Currency, controls the banks in the U.S., just so you guys know.
Yeah.
He said, you have Web 1, which was reading, text. That was the first internet. Web 2 was content creation, where you could interact with the internet. You could create, put video, upload videos. And then Web 3 talks about ownership of the internet. You are able, now with Ethereum, Solana, Avalanche, you are able to own a part of the internet. Like,
exactly, 100%. And these small to large organizations are getting involved in saying, we want a piece of that.
Yep.
And they'll disclose what's legally binding to them, but you're not going to see like the media or anybody jump on a story like that.
No.
They're just going to jump on the fact that Elon said you could pay for a Tesla and Doge, and he said we'll test it out, like in a tweet.
That's one thing that I'm trying to get people out there to learn, and this is on like the IPOs and everything that happens in the New York Stock Exchange. Granted, I'm not opposed to people investing in equities and stuff like that, but crypto, you don't need to know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody to get you in before it's publicly listed.
Right.
You can literally go to an exchange and buy it before the big guys.
And, yeah, you can KYC your own crypto tomorrow.
Exactly. You can get into this game before the big guys get into this game.
Right.
Crypto has allowed the retail investors to literally flip the tables on big corporations. Big corporations are now trying to get into Solana, into Ethereum, into Avalanche, after people bought those assets at $1, at $2, at $3.
Right.
Now big corporations are trying to buy them.
Right.
So
and the total market cap of this market is, I mean, we're not used to seeing $1 trillion stocks.
No.
We see Berkshire, Amazon. There's a couple others $1,000 stocks. I'm sorry.
Right.
But we're gonna see an ass load of $1,000 cryptos in my head one day.
Absolutely.
Because the market cap of the internet will exceed the global stock market cap, because you're basically combining the stock market and the internet. Like,
absolutely.
FTX is already showing signs of it, but if you think about it too, if the currency reserve system it changes, stocks paid for by U.S. dollars won't work. They'll have to be converted, and so like the crypto market will be you see where I'm going with that. I don't know the logistics of that. That's probably years off. That's not financial advice. There's nothing backing that. But if you really consider it, it's like, unless they just convert it to like a stable coin backing or something like that, it's like they're going to have to, which even then is still a stock market backed by crypto.
I mean, another great example is the fact that you can tokenize anything on the blockchain. I mean, you can take a house and split it into tokens and sell that to other investors. Right. Same thing can happen with equities. Right. And my thing is that again, a lot of people don't understand. This is things that I've been thinking about for years now since I got into crypto. Imagine
you can tokenize this house right now.
Yes, but imagine, Brian, Apple tokenizes their stock, right?
Right.
And then I own 1,000 shares of Apple. I can literally use those thousand shares and use it as a down payment on a house.
Right.
I don't have to sell it to the New York Stock Exchange. If the bank would accept that as a down payment,
as a currency,
I could definitely just send it to them.
But they don't.
Well, I think eventually that will be the future.
Well,
though.
Because it'll be seamless.
Yeah, and
because of assets, because of systems like XRPL and other things like that, where we have instant liquidity.
Exactly.
They can just be like, okay, we'll take that because we can convert it and no problem.
And the fact, Brian,
I get that.
Literally, banks that last month the OCC, the Fed, and the FDIC put out we talked about it. I think you talked about it on Crypto After Dark. I definitely talked about it on the lunch hour. Those three agencies have come together to put out regulation. 2022 is going to be a huge year when it comes to crypto regulation. But they came out with bullets as to regulatory aspects of cryptocurrency that they want to tackle next year. Mm-hmm. One of them is banks being able to buy, sell, and hold crypto for their clients. That's just the window for that right there.
Right.
They're also looking at using crypto to collateralize loans for their customers. So
that'll be interesting too. Like, hey, Betsy, I know we've been selling you these 5.5% CDs for the last 20 years, but have you heard of crypto? Would you like to buy some Bitcoin from the bank? And imagine,
dude.
Imagine, bro, we get retail investors in from institutional banks custody like that, and the market drops like 90%, and they're like, "You motherfuckers!"
Yeah,
like,
and unfortunately, Brian, I see it playing out the same way that it happened with gold back in 1978 when Nixon moved the dollar away from the gold standard. Yeah. People, literally the government came, took the people's gold, and then they took the dollar away from the gold standard. But the way that I see it playing out is the fact that first banks are going to buy Bitcoin. They're going to buy it. They're going to get their little stash. And then guess what? They're going to sell it to the retail investors. Mm-hmm. Oh, now you can buy it through your bank account. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. They're gonna sell it to the people, and then they're gonna crash it.
Dude, that's gonna be sick.
It's gonna be.
Here's the gold chart. So gold's gone up. Like this data goes back to 2000. Mm-hmm. I don't know what this. Get this. Why can't I see the X on this? Oh, here we go. I got it. The date is 2006. Whatever.
Yeah.
So this is $500.
I mean, if you go back to the 70s, literally gold has moved in a parabolic manner. Compared to the US dollar, it's insane. But that's exactly what I see happening. Those three agencies, the OCC, the Fed, the FDIC, they have come together to say, okay, banks are able to do business in crypto. Again, they're gonna get their little stash, and then they're gonna sell it to the retail investors. Oh, you can buy crypto through your bank account.
Yeah.
and they're just going to rob the people.
Here's gold down here, after 100, right after the Nixon move here, and it actually
$100?
Yeah. Now it's worth $1,800 an ounce.
Yeah. I mean, that's insane. And now you
things take a long time, but you think crypto is not going to do the same thing? Like,
and yeah, on that side, you're probably not going to be able to do it against the dollar. I mean, if you put it against the dollar, it just doesn't compare.
Right.
And again, that's why I don't understand why people.
Yeah.
They.
What was that?
I don't know, man. It's just. It upsets me, man. Just the mentality. And granted, you talk about Bitcoin, the store of value thing and whatnot. That's its only utility right now. Sure, that's all fine and dandy. But those cryptos that actually have utilities, they are building the network.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the ones to pay attention to.
Yeah.
Because those, I'm telling you,
don't get me started on ISO cryptos tonight either. Don't even.
Man.
We can talk about that forever. Thanks for everybody for watching that video too. We got some views on that one. What is that?
That's XRP.
This is XRP.
Yeah, I mean that's another one. When this SEC lawsuit comes to an end, this one's gonna be an animal.
Yeah, it's when, not if. And it might be tomorrow, it might be in 2 years, it might be in 5 years, but the longer it takes, the bigger the animal it's going to become. Because it's, for those we've talked about ISO, it's almost worth bringing up on every show.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate it. We're just talking about cryptos. Right now we're looking at ISO 222. We're sharing the screen on YouTube, so you guys are more than welcome to go to the YouTube channel, and that way you guys can see what we're talking about. But yeah, I mean, these projects, they're definitely going to open the floodgates, man, when it comes to liquidity. And that's one thing that I've always liked Brad Garlinghouse and what he has to say. The liquidity that they're going to free up from banks by just using XRP. We're not talking about not even XDC or Algo. I mean, those cryptos, they're definitely going to change the financial system.
Mm-hmm. So here's the article for ISO cryptos, and I don't think this is going to be everything, right? Sorry about that. I don't think this is going to be all of the cryptos that'll make it, but these 5 certainly stand a fair chance. XRP, XLM, XDC, which I don't see on here. This article's old. It says so far the only 2 compatible are XRP, XLM. So this one at the time was rumored for IOTA and Algo, and they also
definitely are compatible.
And now, so is XDC. This is
so is XDC,
and this is just an older article. Sorry, I'm typing with one hand here. Here's the list right here. Oh no, that's the rumored list, dude. Are they deleting shit from the internet again? I mean,
I wouldn't be surprised.
Come on now. Point. Here we go. This is good. This is a good list. So yeah, and so this is just those 5. Like, I mean, we've talked about Cardano a bunch. People ask about Bitcoin and Ethereum. I'm like, Bitcoin's been inefficient and keeps going up. So when we talk about Ethereum's gas fees, do you know what I think is going to reduce Ethereum's gas fees? And not the price, is it's just this natural demand.
Right.
It's not gonna. I think it's gonna keep some of that store value in it. I don't know why I'm feeling that. I'm just speaking my soul. It's not financial advice by any means, but I don't see Ethereum crashing just because of other projects actually, going up.
To that point, I just read today that the new update, the London update, hard fork that took place in August 5th.
Yeah.
I talked about it today on the launch hour. Make sure you guys check out that episode. But the new London hard fork actually has made Ethereum a deflationary asset.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, that's also huge.
No, absolutely. More Ethereum is being burnt than is being mined.
Wow.
On any given day. Yeah. So I think since the hard fork, I want to say 62 billion worth of Ethereum has been burnt.
Okay.
So that's definitely, and that's one thing that I said. That's definitely a good thing for the Ethereum price. I don't know how that's going to affect, the gas fees and again, the gas that people pay. Right. But Ethereum 2.0, the update that's supposed to take place next year, I don't know if that's going to happen. is supposed to fix those gas fees because it's going to implement a full staking model into Ethereum. So that's what they're looking to do. But again, I was getting.
Why does it feel like they're playing catch up though?
And that's one thing. For those people that don't know, I'm a huge Cardano proponent. I love Cardano. Charles Hopkinson, the creator of Cardano, started in Ethereum. He helped develop the Ethereum blockchain, but he realized that the way that it was created, the mining mechanism was
created the problems that they're having.
Exactly. It had problems from the get-go. So Vitalik Buterin right now, he's trying to fix that issue. He's trying to move into a full staking mechanism, and they just haven't been able to fix the issues that they're being faced with.
Right.
And again, they actually came out and said, the Ethereum Foundation came out and said that they should be updated, fully implemented by Q2 of 2022. A lot of skeptics out there. I mean, Big Boy Crypto came out and said, I don't think it's going to happen by Q2 of 2022.
Well, none of the timelines happen.
No. And I see mid 2023.
There's a difference between an official filing, like in a stock market
Right.
or something like that, and then like a non-regulatory body saying they're going to update something and do something.
Right.
Like they can literally say and do whatever they want in theory because like there's no regulations yet.
Right,
so at a point in time where, and you know what? Because there's bridge currencies now. I don't think the prices will ever matter.
No.
There'll be a ton of volatility forever. There won't be like a regulated market like Forex where like obviously where stable coins or like the US dollar can't really lose like a percent or two it takes a while for that. Like a half percentage move is like considered a pretty big daily move, right? And that's why the Forex market is so leveraged. But with that being said, like we'll have bridge currencies, right? Those are fixing the volatility problem and the liquidity problem at the same time, through instant settlement.
Yep.
So, with that being said, it's like perceived value is here to stay. It's now more than ever. There's people this Snoop Dogg's neighbor in the sandbox spent $450,000 on his lot or his house or whatever he bought recently, and I bet your ass that he'll sell it for more if he ever decides to get rid of it.
Yeah, and that's one thing that I haven't been able to understand. The whole NFT and the metaverse. I definitely see it as being the future. I just don't understand how those assets are being priced right now.
Right.
Granted, I'm not an art expert. I know nothing about art. But I could have bought a CryptoPunk back in 2018 when they first came out. But when I looked at it, I literally was one of the people that said, this is a JPEG. Like, this, I can snap this picture and this and that.
Yeah.
And it is why am I paying money for this? But one thing, and actually Keanu Reeves came out during an interview and he said that the problem with cryptos or NFTs that I'm having right now is that literally every single one can be launched on every single different chain.
Right. I was talking about this with somebody too. I was saying to myself, like, when is, for example, buying like an art piece of art that you can then hang in like your metaverse house. Mm-hmm. I guess that's the next that's a level of utility higher than
on Decentraland
than a JPEG. Right, so you can buy something that you can wear, or like Nike's opening stores, Louis Vuitton, like all these high-end retailers are opening stores in these different metaverses. Like, I guess I can see that. Like, if you're trying to swag out in your metaverse, like, people have already been paying like pay-to-play like apps,
and you can confirm like ownership and whatnot of an asset on the blockchain. But again, it's happening right now. You have CryptoPunks on Ethereum, but you also have CryptoPunks on the Tron blockchain. You have CryptoPunks on the XRP blockchain. Like, that's the issue that I'm having.
Well, that's like Tron Punks, XRP Punks.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
I'll be honest with you. Like, I'll bring up the same scenarios again. It reminds me of AOL days again, and it reminds me of Netscape and Earthlink and all those shitty ass dial-ups that just pumped and dumped. I mean, I don't like, again, whatever punks you can hang in your decentral mansion, upload to Axie Infinity. I don't care what partnerships happen in the future, but you see what I'm saying? Like, if you can use it somewhere, that utility and use probably come from I'm not a language expert, but like that's where utility comes from. So if you can't use it, somebody else can screenshot it, and then you just own that picture. It's like, okay, well, I started a meme. I guess that's where they wanted to get that value from too. It's like the meme creators deserve to know who started the meme.
With that being said, there are some out there, some NFTs that are coming. They actually have some utility, or the creators are implementing some utilities. One that I mentioned that I know about, Flare Finance for Flare Network. They came out with a DeLorean NFT. I purchased it because they're looking to implement some utility on it. You're gonna be able to stake it, and get rewards, from that NFT. That's the only reason why I bought it. They're looking to add some utility to it. Granted, what's that called? CryptoPunks and Bored Ape, you're going to be able to put them on your Nexo account. You know Nexo, and you'll be able to get loans against it. So that's, granted, it's not utility per se, but I mean, you'll be able to borrow money against your NFTs. So I guess that's a good thing, if you ask me. So
I agree. I mean, that's, in this tokenization world, you should be able to. You don't need the bank to reverse mortgage your house anymore. You can just tokenize it.
Yeah.
Timeshare your own house.
And that's what I'm talking about. That's what we're looking to do. So I honestly think that there's a future when it comes to crypto, and I mean, NFTs, they're obviously going to have a future, especially when it comes to gaming and stuff like that. You get what I'm saying? Being able to own a weapon or a really cool rare jacket or whatever that you can sell to somebody else.
Or just in general, like buying a pair of like sneakers or something. Like there's like, you're gonna be able to go into these places to go shopping as an avatar. Like, and that kind of gets me too. It's like, don't you want to go do that in real life? Like, don't you want to go like?
A lot of people don't nowadays.
I know. If you think about people like stuck on their phones, do you think people are gonna like get in the metaverse every day? And like, they're not gonna see the sunshine.
They are not gonna see the sunshine. I agree with that.
They're gonna see the metaverse sunshine.
Unfortunately,
you think you get vitamin D out of that? Like, oh wait, I got sun in the meta. I was at the meta beach.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you play it outside.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's the only time.
So we're gonna see people walking around with their goggles on.
Yeah. Honestly,
or just like sitting outside with their goggles on.
I wouldn't be surprised, man.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised.
I wouldn't be either.
Yeah, but
nothing surprises me.
No, especially not with where things are nowadays and whatnot.
I know.
Yeah.
What else are we talking about here? IMF.
Yeah, I just brought that article up.
All right.
It's just they're talking about regulating crypto. What's her name? Gopinath outlined the regulatory difficulties around crypto at an event by the National Council of Applied Economic Research on Wednesday. That was yesterday. She said regulating crypto assets and currencies is essential, especially for emerging and developing economies, as banning them may not work as crypto exchanges are located offshore.
Obviously.
Yeah. Which makes it easier for them, for an individual to trade in them despite the
they will find a country that will allow them to operate, and the citizens of any country will find a dark web or a third-party resource to find a way to do it. I mean, humans are very resourceful.
And
we're meant to seem dumb right now, but we're actually pretty resourceful. So people are going to do what they have to do. Exactly. People are for the most part are I mean, we've seen the flaws of the justice system from as little as weed crimes to as maximum as like gun crimes. Like people are going to test the waters and do what they need to do to support themselves. So like, that means if you're going to ban crypto, somebody's going to find a dark web, or they're just going to VPN. They're just going to do whatever they can. You can go, if you hunt down all of them, you're probably going to outdo your resources before you're going to destroy this market.
Exactly. And that's one thing that I've said. It's not, the solution to the problem is not banning crypto. It's regulating it to make sure that investors are protected and they're not being taken advantage of.
Right.
Protection, it's not keeping people from making money or taking risks at the end of the day.
Right.
Live and the market overall, whether it's equities, commodities, crypto, it's about taking risk.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, the market rewards you for taking risks. Yeah. So that's it. I mean,
So Michael Saylor, CEO of MicroStrategy, the world's largest owner of Bitcoin, has highlighted this exact property as extremely helpful from a business perspective. Unlike real estate, Bitcoin can be transferred across borders at the speed of light to the most tax-friendly jurisdictions. Well, Bitcoin takes like 30 minutes. So this man's wild, and sometimes
he likes
Christine Lagarde. I love Christine Lagarde and tinfoil Brian here, but she's also worn a triskelion pin several times. Brooch, what do they call those?
Yeah. The pin thing.
It's like a triskelion is a 3-circle logo for those of you unfamiliar with ancient symbolism, but it's also the logo for Ripple. And has also pushed for global cryptocurrency regulation to combat its decentralized money laundering capabilities. Like global central banks have not pumped dollars across every single fiat currency market,
left and right,
swept it under the rug, donated it to each other,
left and right.
Inflated this shit out. The inflation rate is criminal itself,
when
in my opinion. I mean,
last year, what was it? Goldman Sachs got fined over $1 billion for money laundering accusations.
Yeah. Aren't y'all chilling with Goldman Sachs or what?
Like again, when regulators and politicians, they try to use the money laundering or terrorist fine. Granted, you want to prevent it.
All right, big brain again. All right, back to the rewinding to the sentiment from about 3 minutes ago. If they can't stop purchasing crypto, are they going to stop money laundering ever?
Right.
They can put transaction IDs on it, but then I was like, all right, double down on the transaction IDs for me. If they can do transaction IDs for me, it's for me, not for thee. Meaning they're not going to give us any transaction IDs of their government spending.
Exactly.
So is it really going to be a transparent market, or is it really just going to be the next market? You know what I'm saying? To be told on all of that, it's taken this long to regulate dollar stuff and some of the ups and downs of that. They've had to do bailouts and all kinds of things. So it's not been perfect there. It's probably not going to be perfect again.
No, and at the end of the day,
unless the robots come,
the financial system is not perfect. Whether you want to say the crypto's not or whatever, but it's trying to cryptocurrencies and blockchain is definitely trying to fix issues with our financial system. The transparency issues, the liquidity issues. There's a lot that the blockchain can fix, and yes, it should be regulated. I'm all about that. That's perfectly fine, but don't try to use arguments that have not been proven, especially when it comes to the financial stability issues and whatnot. Saying that it can cause, the next financial crisis, this and that. I'm like, literally, in the past, month and a half, the crypto market has gone down over $1 trillion.
Mm-hmm.
And the financial system hasn't stopped operating.
Look at this one.
Come on. What's that? Is that supposed to be like a Pokemon?
It's a Pokemon card. Jerome Powell. His move is replace toner. Flip a coin, regardless of heads or tails. Replace the money printer's toner.
Wow. What is wrong with people?
Yeah, that is hilarious, honestly.
Pretty awesome, that's pretty awesome. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is at this point.
All right, well, Fed's going to do 3 rate hikes next year, and they said they're going to start tapering, but if the market goes down, they'll probably stop tapering and start printing more again.
Print that money!
What else you got here? Markets rally after FOMC meeting.
Yeah, we talked about that. You guys know we were green yesterday pretty deeply.
We got a new daily candle here. We're seeing some green. New daily candle action. Where is Bitcoin?
What's the price right there?
81. Bitcoin 47.8.
I need Bitcoin at 53.
Yeah, we want to get above here.
Yeah.
We want to get back to this 50-day average at 54. All right, any closing thoughts tonight?
No, man, you got all of my thoughts. My brain is empty right now.
Dang, we dumped the thought.
We dumped it.
Got the thoughts out?
Literally.
Well, this has been fun. I feel like I'm on an episode of Hey Babe. Except they have a manager and they can sit back. We have to sit forward.
Yeah.
I'm old. I can't.
Yeah.
It'd be much better if I could sit back here, like a bigger TV. Like one day we'll be like really doing it, you know?
Yeah. I mean, definitely. I mean, it feels a lot better when you lean back, though.
Right. It's kind of chill, isn't it? Like, it's kind of chill back here. Well, thanks everybody on Instagram for joining.
We appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate that. Thanks everybody on YouTube for joining.
Yeah.
Make sure you like, subscribe, tweet us.
Yeah. Make sure you guys subscribe to if you're on Instagram, make sure you go to our YouTube channel. Subscribe. We are giving an NFT, one of 999.
Wow.
They are being burned very often. So, again, you have a chance of winning an awesome NFT. Just go. Link is in the bio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
But that's all we have for tonight. We'll catch you guys on the next one.
Peace out. Thanks, everybody.